A leading Brexiteer has insisted any trade deal thrashed out between the UK and EU must supersede and replace the withdrawal agreement in full. Andrew Bridgen said Boris Johnson's hardline approach at the negotiating table meant future discussions will have to feature some serious compromises from the EU side to keep the trade talks alive. He said the Prime Minister had left Brussels in no doubt of his position when he threw down the gauntlet and declared the talks were over. And he said Mr. Johnson should take the same tough stance with the EU when talks resume tomorrow. Writing on the Pavlovich Today website, Mr. Bridgen said, if a trade agreement is concluded between the UK and the EU within the next 2 weeks, however bare-bone, it must state that it supersedes and replaces the withdrawal agreement in full. If no final deal is forthcoming, then the first job our newly independent sovereign parliament must do is craft legislation to remove us from the spider's web of the withdrawal agreement in early January 2021. The Tory MP for North West Leicestershire said all EU negotiations go down the wire and the bloc's negotiators had lived down to their reputation by seeking at the 11th hour to move the wire back a couple of weeks. He said, Michel Barnier for the past 10 months has made it clear that the EU expected all the concessions to get a trade deal over the line to come from the UK side. This clearly riled and perturbed not only Lord Frost but also Boris Johnson and his advisers in Number 10. The response from Boris was unequivocal and will have surprised, if not shocked, the EU in typical Cummings strategy. Mr. Bridgen said he was shocked by a comment from German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who declared, "It is clear that the UK wants quite a lot of independence." The MP said, "I am not surprised that the EU has so badly misjudged the resolve of the new Conservative government, elected less than a year ago, and more importantly the determination of the UK people to fully implement the referendum result. Independence is freedom, and you can never be a little bit free."